Hola, humans! Welcome! I am Trudell, the Comic God. Today, we're talking about my hot takes. So, my hot take for this week is Super Saiyan is dumb. Okay, it's not dumb. The real hot take is that there should only be one Super Saiyan transformation in Dragon Ball Z. So, let's get into my reasons, huh? Let's go. Alright. So, first off, I want to say I love Dragon Ball and all its characters. Well, not all. Most of its characters. And that is exactly why I'm making this video. I think this first Super Saiyan transformation was awesome. Hell, when Vegeta first got his Super Saiyan transformation, that was super awesome. And who the hell doesn't like Gohan when he turns Super Saiyan 2? That moment, iconic. But after that, it 100% falls off. But the coolness factor is not the only reason. I feel like the whole series would be better if Super Saiyan was the only direct Saiyan-based power-up. I say direct because I have another idea I'm going to present a little later in this video. The first reason I think it'd be better is because the power gap between the Saiyans, Goku and Vegeta mainly, and the rest of the cast, especially the ones that entered the story in Dragon Ball, Piccolo, Tien, Krillin, Yamcha, etc., it alienates them all and gives them absolutely nothing to do. Because why even step in if you're no match for the antagonist? Leaving them to only beat up these, weak goons and honestly do not much else but that. I think it's kind of disrespectful to the characters that have such deep history and importance within the stories. Despite the fact that Piccolo and Tien never stop training, and in their base they should be as strong as, if not stronger than Goku, Vegeta in their base forms, but this doesn't seem to be the case for some reason, which is another thing that doesn't make much sense to me, but I'll just let it go for now. Especially because I really like those two characters in particular. But let's throw that aside for now. Okay, now I feel like I might go down a rabbit hole of emotion, because Super Saiyan as a whole is kind of a boring transformation. What does it do other than make you blonde and stronger? It completely killed technique in Dragon Ball, and there's no drawback whatsoever. I think the benchmark of a good transformation, especially if it's 50 times your power, is some sort of drawback. And before I do the drawback, I want to give you a concept of how absolutely insane a 50 times multiplier for your power-up is. That's like if you went into a weightlifting competition and the most you could bench is 100 pounds, which isn't impressive. That's not impressive at all. But then you're like, alright, I'm gonna transform. Now you could lift 5,000 pounds. Huh? That's insane. You just turned into a superhuman, right? That is so crazy. And there's no consequences to this type of crazy-ass power-up. But this is an anime. You could accept that. Okay. But you have Super Saiyan 2, which is 100 times. And then you get Super Saiyan 3, which is 400 times your base. That's insane. That's like, if you want to go all out in this hypothetical weightlifting competition, you go from your little 100-pound bench press to 40,000 pounds. What on God's green earth? And, for this transformation, for this last Super Saiyan 3 transformation, you just get a little tired a little quicker. That is not enough! Not for me! Alright, okay. That may have been a little much. I'm calmer now. Anyways, I'm going to give two drawbacks that I think may make the Super Saiyan transformation more interesting. Because I love this series, so hell, let's do some fan shiz, you know what I mean? So, a good drawback in the same series is how Kaioken works. If you use Kaioken for too long and you turn it up too high, it'll just tear apart your body. But since we already covered how Super Saiyan is a 50 times multiplier, it would be way more reward to risk. But the risk is there, and we'd feel it. Now, for the second drawback, the Super Saiyan transformation is rooted in rage and battle power, just like the Saiyan races. So why not have the transformation that's specialized for this specific race reflect in the way that it works, making anyone that uses the transformation just way more aggressive, battle hungry, and berserk in the form. Which, by the way, would be a good reason why Gohan would want nothing to do with it later in the future, because I always thought that that was weird. I think it was in the revival of F arc, or right before the Tournament of Power, where he just rejects his Saiyan side, even though he loves his father. He said, I'm gonna do this like a human. I just think that's weird, but that's a different tangent. Okay, so back on track. The more they use and train with Super Saiyan, the effects lessen. But to start, you would be considered a perfect Saiyan warrior, who, in all honesty, would be a complete monster. And that's exactly what they would become. Now, instead of making all this about strength and power, it makes it more about control. And I think that's much more interesting. Even if they're only dealing with that for an arc or two, because there may always be the threat of them just slipping back and losing it. And honestly, I think that would be kind of fun. I also think it would be more fun to make new powers and techniques available, maybe even more suitable within the Super Saiyan form, not only transforming their appearance, but their fighting style as well. Now, let's get to Dragon Ball Super, huh? Alright, so for Battle of Gods, I think it should go down basically like the actual Battle of Gods movie did, where Beerus, the god of destruction, has a vision of the Super Saiyan god, but maybe he has it before he took his nap and thought someone from the Saiyan race might usurp him someday. So he tells Frieza, hey, maybe wipe them out. Just like drops that idea in his head. Then, kind of like the actual story, he goes, he takes a nap, then everything in the Dragon Ball continuity happens, and then Beerus wakes up. He learns what's been happening. He hears that two Saiyans killed Frieza and then continued to get stronger after that. And, like the curious cat he is, he goes to check on the two survivors, which are Goku and Vegeta. When he gets there, they are no match for him whatsoever. So he realizes that they just don't have access to a Super Saiyan God form. So he tells them about it, they're curious, and they call on Shenron, just like the actual movie. Now, Shenron lets them know that the God of the Saiyans is someone who mastered and embodied the very essence of what it means to be Saiyan. Now they're confused. They thought they already did this with their Super Saiyan transformation. But they forgot something. What's the most defining trait of a Saiyan? The black hair? Nope. It's the tail. The tail. Where'd the tail go? Vegeta, the Saiyan prince, got rid of his tail. For God knows what reason. It doesn't make any sense. You'd think he'd be proud of it, and I'm pretty sure one of them, I'm not sure if it's Raditz or him, say the tail is where their power comes from, and then, boom, he gets rid of it? Makes no sense. But, anyways, the lost transformation is the Ozaru. And if anybody has seen GT, they probably guessed it already. That's right, we are doing Super Saiyan 4, baby! Let's go. Or at least something like Super Saiyan 4. It's the combination of the mastered Ozaru form with the mastered Super Saiyan form, giving them the appearance of a golden Super Saiyan 4-esque transformation, maybe make them a little bigger than their normal forms, and a lot more body hair. But this gives them a 500 times multiplier. And that's the combination of the 50 times that they get from Super Saiyan and the 10 times that they get from the Ozaru transformation. Now, you may be wondering, there's no ritual, there's no God key, what's happening? No, why? I don't think the Saiyans would know anything about that. So, the form is called Super Saiyan God because it gives you enough strength to contend with the gods. And when they test their new strength against Beerus, it's proven not to be the threat that Beerus was scared of, or wary of. I wouldn't call it scared, because I don't think that's in his character. But it's not the strength that he was wary of, But it does pique his interest. So he's like, oh, these could be good training partners in the future. So he does let Whis train them, like he does in the actual story. Alright, so with this new power, they gain a 500 times to their strength, but the name is kind of false because it contains no God Key. And remember how I said I like drawbacks? So here's something that comes with the Super Saiyan God form. Now, when they turn Super Saiyan God, the aggression and the Berserker mindset is back in full swing. Vegeta can handle it a little bit more than Goku because he was able to control his Ozaru form, but he is still affected. This doesn't have a great toll on their bodies like the first did in my version of their Super Saiyan, but the excess power is way harder to control. So fatigue is much easier to feel because, for example, they can sprint when they mean to walk, if you know what I mean, right? Just release way more energy than they need to by accident. But all the power and techniques that they get from their Super Saiyan form just work so much better in their Super Saiyan God form. Now, we have the whole Z crew introduced to God Key. And I feel like Piccolo, because part of him was the quote-unquote god of Earth, would really be suited for this. But Tien, and maybe even Krillin and Gohan, would also be there. But the problem for Goku and Vegeta is that God Key is at odds with Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God. So they have to work that much harder to not only master, but attain this new power source. This, in my opinion, will put our cast of characters on a more similar power plane while giving interest and obstacles for our two main characters. And when they finally get it, the transformation into God, Super Saiyan God, or whatever stupid name you want to give it, will feel so earned. And I'm sure everyone will be hyped to see it. Unlike Super Saiyan Blue, which kind of came out of nowhere, I like that transformation because it looks cool, but I don't know if anyone else felt this, but I feel like it just kind of popped out of the blue. No pun intended. It made no sense to me. It's like, oh, Super Saiyan God, that's so cool, and then Super Saiyan Blue, where'd that come from? Anyways, that's not what we're talking about here, but it did kind of feel random. Even though I do like the look of that transformation. I think it has a very punchy vibe, especially when contrasted to their costumes. I think Super Saiyan Blue just looks really cool. Alright, so that's all I have to say about the Super Saiyan forms. What do you think about how I think Super Saiyan should work? Is it completely dumb, or is it kind of interesting? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have your own thoughts on Super Saiyan, I want to hear them. And thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe if you want to hear more, because I have all the opinions. And thanks for getting this far in the video. I am also an artist, so if you want to see any of my other projects or illustrations, check out my Instagram at Tradell the Comic God. And again, thanks for watching, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Peace out, humans.